What's up, guys? Out here with another video, and I just had to make this video before I went to bed. And I was watching Twitter earlier today, and I really wasn't going to make a video about this, but I've seen a few responses, and I think that there's some things that we just have to address. And you got this guy named Kyle J. Howard. I guess he's supposed to be, this woke Christian, and periodically I'll see where he posts stuff. And it's just a bunch of complaining and virtue signaling and just all of this crazy stuff. So, this subject, he comes out and he says, he's basically trying to say that homeschooling is racist. Okay, now, first of all, I'm a homeschool father. I work. My wife, she stays home with the girls. She homeschooled the kids, right? Now, his point in his tweet was that saying that it's challenging to him as a homeschool family because he feels that the homeschool community is mono ethnic, right? Basically trying to say it's majority white people. So I guess he's saying that there's not enough black people participating in homeschooling. Now, first of all, Mr. Kyle J. Howard, the thing is that you can't blame white people for or for being number one, a majority of people that live in this country. So first of all, if you think about the mathematics, if you had every white person in this country that homeschooled and every black person that homeschooled in this country, you'll still see that there are more white people that homeschool more than black people. So that's number one. Number two, you can't blame white people for doing something that you're just now starting to get into. You see what I'm saying? Now, you think about 10, 20 years ago, there wasn't many black people homeschooling their children. This is only something that just started to become popular in the black community within the past 5 years or so. So you can't sit back and blame white people because you can't find a group of black people that you would rather homeschool with. You see what I'm saying? Black people haven't caught up to that yet. So my thing is that how is this something that is racist when you're just now getting in on something that's been going on for decades? You know what I'm saying? So there are people that I know, people in my church, who've been homeschooling for a pretty long time. I mean, they got children my age, and I'm in my late 30s, and they homeschool their children. So we're talking about almost 40 years they've been homeschooling their children, right? And now their children, which is my generation, are now homeschooling their children. You see what I'm saying? So just because you're late to the party doesn't mean that you get to call something racist because you don't see a lot of black people doing what white people do. And this is the problem with this whole woke church thing and everybody trying to be so woke because you're coming into Christianity. Some of these people, some of us are leaving the predominantly black churches and we've branched out because these black churches, and there was a firestorm about this in my past two videos. A lot of these black churches are not teaching sound doctrine. They're not. You don't have any homeschool families in the black churches. You just don't see this different type of um, this different type of how we go about doing church. It's just different. Especially now that we got social media. We have things like YouTube, and we got people to where you can reach out to all types of people nowadays and ask them, how do you homeschool? How do you prepare for stuff like that? So back, 20 years ago and before, that wasn't an option in the black community. Now that we're in a position to where black people are starting to make more money and we can start affording to do the whole homeschool thing, um, it doesn't mean that it's racist because white people has been able to do it far longer than us. You see what I'm saying? And that's just what I'm seeing from the woke church. It's just like everything that the black folks are starting to do now in the woke church. They're calling certain things racist because white folks have been doing these things for decades. You know what I'm saying? For generations. And I believe that is God's sovereignty, and I praise the Lord that the Lord has blessed us, especially my family, to be able to talk with homeschoolers and people who've been homeschooling for decades. You see what I'm saying? They've been able to give us pointers, and they've been able to help us through this tough time of homeschooling, and helping us getting started, helping us with curriculums and things of that nature. So I really thank the Lord for those brothers and sisters. Yes, they are white. You see what I'm saying? But I look at that as a blessing. I don't look at that as, oh well, it's such racism in this country and all of that. And then that's just what's so annoying about these woke church folks, man. It's like they're starting to be more annoying than the church than folks in a predominantly black church, who got all of their traditions and all of the crazy stuff that goes on in a lot of these black churches. And it's like these people in the woke church, they are becoming way more annoying than that. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to make this quick video. And this guy Kyle J. Howard and some of you guys in this woke church stuff, you guys just need to stop it. Homeschooling is not racist. And just because black people are just now starting to get into the groove of that, and white folks been doing it for years, doesn't mean that it's racist. Just because a bunch of, you see a lot of white homeschool families together doing this, and you just see so few black people. This is the time where you're supposed to reach out to your black brothers and sisters and say, hey, listen, I'm going to be that support to help them on the homeschool journey, help them transition into that, instead of complaining about it and saying that, oh, well, it must be something racist because you don't see a lot of black people doing it. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think. Like, rate, share, comment, subscribe, and you guys have a blessed day.